I'm going to sound pretty cliche when I talk about why I wanted to do criminal defense, but I've known since I was a kid. It's one of those weird things that I just was very lucky to know what I wanted to do and always stuck with it. I used to go to court. My mom used to take me, and I used to watch trials growing up and watch different lawyers and watch their techniques, and I was always fascinated by it. Kind of separated me out from the other kids in my class, but that's okay. I kind of knew I wanted to do that. Also, in grade school, like growing up, I always used to kind of stick up for the kids that used to get picked on, and sometimes that would end me in hot water, but it kind of fueled my desire to stick up for somebody that was getting kind of the spotlight put onto them. And that's kind of what our job is. You know, there's one person singled out from a state, and everyone's looking at them in a different way. And sometimes it's not fair, and sometimes it's almost always prejudged in whether or not they committed a crime or whether or not they did certain acts that were unlawful or inappropriate, and that's not always the case. So it's really important when doing this line of work that you don't always look at it legally, although that's definitely required, but you have to look at them as an individual and as a person and explain their story. And that's what our firm, you know, specializes in as well. It's not just a case. It's not just somebody on paper and somebody charged with a crime. It's an individual, and they have a story, and they want to tell it. And that's, you know, it's our job to listen and to speak for them.
When I was in college, I worked as a reading clerk for the Florida House of Representatives. And one day they brought in an individual who had been sentenced to death in Florida. And he was on death row for, I believe it was 25 years at least, until he was exonerated. And I saw what wrongfully convicting an individual could do to a person's psyche, and what it could do to somebody, not only personally, but to their family as well. I mean, this guy's family didn't see him for decades. And I decided then that I want to try to help those who are accused, because not all of those who are accused are guilty. And not all of those who are charged are guilty. And there's so many ways that an investigation could go wrong, be it eyewitness testimony that's unreliable or something that's taken out of context and used against that person. And I just wanted to try to help fix some of the wrongs that are made. And not everything's wrong. Not everything's right either. And so really, we're all kind of on the same side as far as trying to get justice. And so that's where that came from for me.